Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and I'm going to do something a little different today. So, the other day, Wayne from Bucks County Beer Reviews sent me a message, said, hey, he bought a 6-pack of this beer, and asked me if I wanted one. I said, sure, why not? If he wants to send me one, go for it. So he did send me one. I think there's only one beer in this box. I don't know, because I'm going to do the unboxing, and review it at the same time if I don't cut my thumb off here. So I get the box open, and the beer I'm expecting to be in here is going to be the Yeti from the Great Divide. So you know why he sent it to me. Because I am the Ginger Yeti, and he bought that beer, Yeti, bought a 6-pack of it, and just immediately thought of me. So he's kind enough to message me, kind enough to send it to me. See what's in here. Oh, there might be 2 beers in here. I wonder if he sent me something special as well. I know there's definitely 2 beers in here. I was not expecting that. So that's kind of cool. So now I'm going to have to do another review later. Super, super cool. Really appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you very much. I'm going to open this beer up first because I don't know what this is. The other beer is for sure the Yeti, but this is an unexpected gift. This is Goose Island Honkers Ale. Oh, wow. Like, I get Goose Island, but I don't think I've ever seen or had the Honkers Ale. So there's the Honkers Ale. Definitely have to do a beer review of that at a later date. And now we're getting to the beer that I'm going to review. But that was a pleasant surprise. Thank you very much, Wayne. Bucks County Beer Reviews. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Does excellent beers. Excellent reviews. He's a big can collector and shows off his can collection at the end of every one of his videos. And he finds some crazy, crazy beer cans. I mean, he finds some really cool beer cans. You definitely have to check him out. So like I said, the beer I was expecting from him, the beer that he said he wanted to send me, was the Yeti. It's an Imperial Stout by Great Divide. And that's almost similar to my logo there because I am the Ginger Yeti, and this is another Yeti. It says Great Divide, great minds drink alike. Brewed and canned by Great Divide Brewing Company, Denver, Colorado. And this is a big stout, big boy stout. It's canned on 11/12/24, and this is mid-February. So it's still well within date. Not a lot else on the can here. Super cool can. Really appreciate him sending that to me. And of course, I'm not prepared. There's a little blurb on the interwebs that I wanted to read to you. But we're going to have to wait for a half hour for my tablet to boot up and do its thing. So I'll probably have to edit all that out of there. We'll see what happens here. So the blurb that's on Untappd, it says, traditionally, Imperial Stouts, the biggest and boldest of all stouts, were brewed with massive amounts of roasted malts and hops, resulting in a velvety, smooth, but robust beer characterized by high alcohol content and extremely high hop bitterness. Meeting the challenge of this aggressive, challenging beer style, Great Divide's Yeti Imperial Stout is an onslaught of the senses. An almost viscous, inky black brew, Yeti opens with a massive, roasty chocolate coffee malt flavor that eventually gives way to rich toffee and burnt caramel notes. Packed with an enormous quantity of American hops, Yeti's hop profile reveals a slightly citrusy, piney, and wonderfully dry hop finish. Now, I don't ever expect citrusy and piney in a stout. I know a lot of stouts have big IBUs. But you don't necessarily notice that. I mean, you do drink some of these IPAs, they're like 50, 100, whatever IBU, and they are bitter, and you know it's a big, bitter IPA. A lot of stouts have high IBUs, but you don't really notice it because of all the other characters in the stout. So it's interesting to see that this is a 75 IBU beer. So before I get into it, Great Divide was established in 1994, and they were probably on the forefront. One of the breweries is on the forefront of the craft brewing world, the craft brewing boom, and they've made a lot of phenomenal stouts. Funny to note, I have had this once before, a long, long time ago. I was looking on Untappd, and in 2011, I had checked into this beer, which would have been probably within the first few months of me using Untappd. It was before you could take pictures and all this, but I did leave a comment. And the comment I left when I drank this, when I checked into this was, F you, TK, for making me buy this. Now, I have no idea what I was referencing at the time. Why would I have commented FUTK for making me buy this? I'm sure I must have drank this with him. Or maybe we went to the beer store, I bought it and took it home and drank it. I don't know. But it's pretty funny to see my comment from 2011 is telling a beer day with TK, F you for making me buy this beer. But I haven't had it in a long time. I did give it a great rating when I did have it in 2011. But again, I have not had this beer in probably a decade or more, I think. So I'm excited to get into it. Wayne, thank you very much for thinking of me. Thank you very much for sending it to me. On Untappd, this beer gets a 3.9 with 163,000 check-ins. On Beer Advocate, it gets a 94 outstanding with 5,800 check-ins. And since there's that many check-ins, I'll give you the aggregate score. It gets a 4.21 on Beer Advocate. Now, I am just giving this, wasn't even trying to hard pour it, but that head is just creeping up the glass like crazy, crazy head. I could barely get this whole 12-ounce can into this big stout glass. But that's a massive looking head. So let's get a nose on it here. Some roasty malts. And a little hint of chocolate. But the nose isn't that big. I mean, it's everything I'm smelling is very faint. Like a faint hint of bitter chocolate. And some faint roasted, toasted malt. But that is a beautiful looking beer. Pitch black, burnt motor oil. 40 plus. Big Bear Paws worth of, or Yeti Paws worth of khaki tan, wet sand looking head that's just not doing anything. The top of this really looks like wet sand. I like that description. I pulled that from Off the 10th. He used that description the other day, wet sand, and that's exactly what the top of this beer looks like, wet sand. It's a really good description of this head. But that's a super nice looking beer. Really appreciate it, Wayne. Thank you very much. Go check out Bucks County Beer Reviews. I'm going to try to chew through this head and see if I can get some flavor out of it. Cheers, everybody. That head's definitely thick. And surprisingly, for a stout, I believe the 75 IBUs. I believe it. Because I am getting on the first mouthful some of that hop bitterness, that hop flavor that you get in some big IPAs. That's not something I expect from a stout. At 9.5% alcohol, don't notice it at all. Nothing in the mouth, nothing going down. Some nice chocolate notes, some nice dark roasted malt. And you get a little bit of that hoppy IPA bitterness, which is a weird contrast to a stout and not what you'd expect. It's almost like a grassy hop note, mixing in with that chocolate, mixing in with that roasted malt note. This is a little different for a stout. Normally most stouts I drink are big on whatever the flavor is, chocolate, mint, raspberry, whatever the adjuncts are. And there's no real adjuncts in this. This is just an imperial stout. No adjuncts, just I don't want to say plain, but just a plain old imperial stout. And you're tasting the hops in there, which is, again, really strange for a stout, from at least a lot of the stouts that I've drank over the past year or so. But it works well. You get that nice, again, that good dark chocolate, bitter chocolate, some roastiness, and then a little bit of hop bitterness on the back end that kind of counteracts all the sweetness from the chocolatiness from the stout flavors. And it surprisingly works very well. This is a very well done stout. I give this a big horns up. This is an excellent stout. I haven't had it in years. I gave it a 4 on Untappd in 2011. I think it's worthy of a 4 again. Wayne, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for sending it to me. If you've all made it this far into the video, please go check out Wayne. Bucks County Beer Reviews does excellent videos. Again, like I said, he's got an awesome can collection. Always shows off some of his cans at the end of the video, so make sure you watch all the way to the end of his videos. Really appreciate it, Wayne. And as always, embrace the adventure.